What up, y'all? I'm just making a video for my dad, just basically saying like how grateful I am for having him and what he means to me. First off, just send him a thank you, to the spotlight he's put me in, the you know things he's allowed me to see and do and experience. Just him as a person, he's a big part of my life and why I am who I am. I see certain things with certain people, and coming up, their dad, they'll teach them something, or they'll be with them their whole life, and they get in that spotlight, and then they start to like back away from them. But that's not the situation I'm in, because my dad, without him, I wouldn't be where I am, and I wouldn't have that name that I have right now. So I'm definitely gonna appreciate my dad and what he's done for me. But one thing more specifically I want to touch on is with this trip, this Notre Dame trip that we just took. It definitely a lot of behind the scenes happened with my dad that y'all don't really get to see. It's a lot of work being put in order for me to get put in those situations, get put in that spotlight, and be able to experience those type of things. Because a lot of kids at my age, aren't able to experience those certain type of things, but I am, because of my dad and the work that he does for me. One thing that my dad always tells me is that although I'm a straight A student in the school, with all the books that I've read, ain't none of those books can teach me what my dad has taught me. And he calls it the book of life, and that's basically just like outside of school and what they can't teach me when it comes to what you need in order to be great, women, what it means to be a young man, what the requirements are, certain things like that, that school can't teach you. And I'm definitely appreciative of my dad for teaching me that. Another thing I want to touch on is that my dad, he's a type, he could take something that happens in your day-to-day life, something small, and he could turn it into a life example, and you would just look at it a whole different way. You would have never thought you could see it that way. And that's definitely something that he does a lot. He gives a lot of examples. He gives a lot of, life lessons to me. He knows, certain times to correct me and certain times to let me correct myself. And so, that's real important. He tells me that's real important when developing a young man like me. But yeah, I'm just real appreciative of my dad. And one more thing that I want to touch on is, like, when I was at Notre Dame, when we was down there, I was just like, I've literally been waiting on that trip for freaking forever. Like, I've been waiting on that trip. I've been waiting for that experience. Like, Notre Dame is my dream school. Class of 2030, like, I'm gonna commit there. I'm telling you, that's been my dream school. And just being able to go out there and experience that, and be in South Bend, and just the atmosphere was just crazy. We got to take a tour. I got to see all the facilities, all medical, everything, weight room, all that. It was real dope. It was something that I just took in. And, you don't get that same feeling when you see it on TV, when you see it on camera. It's really not the same feeling. And it's definitely as advertised when you go out there. Like, it's more than just football. You're not, like, when you leave Notre Dame, you're more than just a football player. Like, you leave as a different person in general. And another thing that my dad, has told me is whenever you go somewhere, you always want to leave with connections. So we definitely left with some great connections. I want to give a huge shout out to two people. One, Carter, Mr. Carter. I want to give a shout out to him for just taking me around. He took me on the tour. He let me see the field. I walked right through the tunnel. I was able to see a whole lot. He took me everywhere. I was able to walk on the field. I was able to go to the church. I was able to do a lot of stuff. I'm real appreciative of him for, just taking me in and making me feel welcome. For my first time, that was a great first impression of Notre Dame to me, Another dude I want to give a big, huge shout out to is Mr. Glenn. He took me around like more of the student. He took me around the dorms. He showed me the dorms. He just showed me more of the, student life side of things. That was definitely dope. I got to see, like I said, the dorms. I got to walk around campus, and one thing that he did that was real exciting. It was so when Notre Dame, when they score the extra point, they do a thing where y'all saw it on the video, but you get on top and like they push you up, and however many points you have like after you score. So if you score and you kick the field goal, you have 7 points. They push you up 7 times. And when we did it, they had scored 28 points, so they had to push me up 28 times. So that was real dope. That was definitely real dope. But I definitely want to give a huge shout out to those 2 people. I really appreciate y'all for everything y'all did for me and how y'all just took me in and made me feel welcome. But overall, yeah, I just this was a message just to self-reflection, what I learned, what I took from, being at Notre Dame. And yeah, that was definitely a great time. And just another, message to my dad, just saying I appreciate you for everything you've done, and I can't wait to do more. So, peace out.